Good morning, YouTube, on this beautiful Sunday morning here in the 515. I am Rob, and you are watching Outside in the 515. Today is going to be a little bit different video. We are not going to be in the wood yard or out in the woods cutting wood or anything to do with wood. Today, we are going to do some fun 2A stuff. My dad decided he wanted to buy a handgun. My dad's pro 2A, believes in the Second Amendment, but he's always just been a little leery of pistols and handguns. So he hasn't really wanted one. And he recently was driving back from my brother's place in Minnesota and had a scare on the interstate. Had a car that was toying with him and following him at every stop and just really kept messing with him, and it spooked him. My dad's in his 70s, and I finally talked him into, Dad, you're not in your 30s or 40s anymore. You can't fight off attackers the way you could have back in those days. I said, I'd really appreciate it if you'd put a firearm in your car. And here in Iowa, we are a constitutional carry state, so you don't need a license to carry. You can use your constitutionally protected rights to carry a firearm. But he doesn't know where to start on buying a handgun, doesn't know what he wants. So what we're going to do today is I am going to take, I think, 4 different ones. I'm going to take a full-size 1911 45 ACP. I'm going to take a pro or a commander size 1911 45 ACP. Then I'm going to take a full-size striker-fired 9mm. And then I'm going to take a compact. Well, I'm going to take 5. I'm going to take a full-size striker-fired 9mm, a mid-sized striker-fired 9mm, and a compact 9mm. I don't think he's going to like the snap of the 45, but he likes the feel of the 1911, and unfortunately, I don't have any 1911s in 9mm. So I can't help him there. But I do have the different sizes in 9mm. So we can do that. I don't think I'm going to get much footage of him shooting because this is only his second time ever shooting a handgun. So I know he's going to be nervous, and you throw a camera in there on it and this and that. So I'll probably just get some pictures of it, and we'll do it that way. When I got to hit a couple places where I keep my firearms, and then I got to get back to my shop, and we'll get loaded up, and I'll show you what we're working with, what we're going to be shooting, and then we'll go from there. So hang tight. Okay, so here we are. This is what we're going to be shooting today. Start off is the Kimber Raptor Pro. The Dan Wesson Vigil. The FNS9. And the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 2.0. So, got to get some ammo loaded, get some mags loaded, and we'll be hitting the road. There you go. Steady it. Alrighty, well, I think I got Dad situated on a firearm he likes. I I let him shoot a couple of different 1911s and 45 ACP, and then a couple of striker fired 9mm. And where he's really new to handguns, the 45 was just a little much for him. Plus, you know, he is in his 70s, so he doesn't have the wrist control required for a 45, especially like a commander size 1911. So I think he's going to go with a Smith & Wesson M&P 9, which is a good all-around firearm. I may or may not own a few of those M&P 9s, and they run. They're a good alternative to a Glock. I'm not a big fan of Glock. I don't like the way they feel in my hand. I don't like the triggers. And my thing is if I have to buy a firearm and then do a bunch of changes to it, why am I buying that firearm? You know, I like to buy them out of the box, ready to roll. So that's why I just don't really care for Glocks. So a Smith & Wesson M&P, whether you're buying an M&P 9 or an M&P 45, they're a good alternative to Glocks. So he shot an FNS 9 and then my M&P 9, and he liked the Smith & Wesson better than the FN. So he's going to ponder on it a few days, and then we'll run him out to JLM Shooter Supply and go see Dallas and the boys, and we'll get him set up. So it was a good day. You know, it's always a good day when you get to spend time with your dad and you get to do fun stuff, and you know, especially as, you know, I'm getting older and he's getting older, and you know, I try to spend as much time with my dad as I can, because, you know, we lost Mom 5 years ago. Well, 5 years ago next week we lost my mom, and you know, you just never know when it's going to happen. So I try to spend as much time with Dad as possible, and you know, it's never a bad day when you go exercise your constitutionally protected rights, and you get to relieve a little bit of stress and send some high range or some high velocity darts down range, and it's even better when you're spending it with your dad. So I am gonna run to a car wash and get my truck washed up, because it's unseasonably nice today. So I might go home and split a little bit of wood. I haven't quite decided that. It is Sunday afternoon though. I'd kind of like to go home and just kind of relax too. So don't forget to like, subscribe. We are outside in the 515, formerly 515 Homesteaders, and I explained that in a short. But the skinny on that one is my lady just didn't like being on camera, and I don't know enough about canning and preserving food to continue documenting the homesteading life. You know, what we were trying to do with our small little piece of land. So I'm going to start doing a little more 2A content. I'm going to, you know, continue doing the firewood and that with my daughter Sheila, and pretty much anything else I find fun outside. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit all the little ringy dingies at the bottom, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Outside in the 515, and we'll see you on the next one.